There are big questions that we all have to deal with. We put them under the God forbid scenario. Something happens to me. I'm in the hospital. What if something happens to my kids? We don't like to deal with them. And as a result, we don't deal with them. And then something happens. We can get caught out of sorts. 5 very important legal documents every parent should have that will actually protect your spouse, your children, and their future. And what do we care about more than that, right? Let's be honest. How do I know all these things? Family legal expert Alexis Neely. She's written Wear Clean Underwear, a fast, fun, friendly, and essential guide to legal planning for busy parents. Very nice to have you, Alexis. This could not be more important. We do not have these documents. We need them. Let's list them. Let's start with the big one, okay? Top one. Durable power of attorney. What is it? Why do we need it?
Okay, well, here's the thing about these 5 legal documents. Yes, the durable power of attorney, the health care directive, critically important in case you're hospitalized. You need someone making health care decisions for you. You need someone making financial and legal decisions for you. But, Chris, here's the thing. What's more important than these legal documents is that these legal documents are kept up to date because people have them. They have them, and then they think everything is taken care of, and the truth of the matter is it is not. The legal system is failing them by leaving people thinking this. It's just not the case.
How many families wind up going into bankruptcy or they start fighting amongst themselves because they don't know what care was appropriate for the family member?
That's exactly right. If you don't keep your legal documents up to date, if you don't, in fact, own your assets in the right way, that's another thing that people don't understand is you can have these legal documents, but if your assets are not owned in the right way, the legal documents are just not going to work. And oftentimes, these legal documents are just focused on the money. You need to also be focusing on your values.
Right. So that takes us to the next point. You have your health, and now you have your assets, a will and a trust.
Yes. Yes, you've got to have the will, but more importantly is you need to have the trust and you need to have your assets owned in the trust in the right way throughout your whole lifetime.
Quid pro demonstrato, as this demonstrates in Latin. Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
The trust issues that have arose there. What does that tell us?
Well, we see that he had an estate plan. He had these 5 legal documents, and yet you see his family in court. How many times have they been there, facing the public, having to deal with all of this? Because ultimately, his lawyers failed him.
And also remember, a lot of this information, abcnews.com, so don't panic because Alexis has given it quickly because TV is quick. But with a will and a trust, you have to update it because your life changes, and that's how you wind up in court, is that you didn't update it, you added another dependent, or the house has changed. So it's only as good as it is relevant and present.
That's right. So the most important thing is that you really want to have a relationship with a lawyer that you're going to be able to turn to throughout your lifetime and that your family is going to be able to turn to after you're gone. Because if you just leave them a set of 5 legal documents, what are they going to do? They need someone to turn to.
Forget it. And we all worry about preservation of assets. Your home is probably the most important thing you have. It will get taken down by taxes and fees and attorneys if you get at them the wrong way. So you need to do it right. Now, finally, our children.
Yes.
A kids protection plan. This is new. People don't really hear about this that often.
Right.
What is it?
A kids protection plan is a comprehensive plan that's going to make sure that your kids are not only taken care of for the long term, but for the short term as well. Every parent in America needs to name legal guardians for their kids, including you. So we're going to make sure that you do that. That's the most important thing. But you also have to think about the short term. What's going to happen right away if something happens to you? The Kids Protection Plan is going to pass that on, but is also going to help to pass on your values.
Not to scare you, but Child Protective Services, once they take control of a child because there isn't someone immediate, it can be very difficult. There's a whole process to go through to prove yourself as worthy of that child. It can get very hairy.
Well, and you never want your kids to be taken out of your home if something happens to you, or you don't want a court deciding who raises your kids, a judge who doesn't know you. You want to be the one who's deciding this, and that's what the Kids Protection Plan does.
What percentage of people do you think have these documents in place?
69% of people have never done any legal planning at all. 31% of parents have, but many of them are making one of 6 common mistakes, and that's what we need to help them prevent is think about the right things when you're naming guardians. Really look at how do you want your kids to be raised? How do you want health care decisions made, education decisions? How do you want the money to be taken care of?
Get it on paper with someone who knows how to protect what's most important to you.
Absolutely.
Alexis Neely, great advice. You go to abcnews.com. You can get it all there. Thanks to you. Also on Twitter, by the way, so if you want to talk to Alexis, you can get her on Twitter.